You are not broke because you don't earn enough. You are broke because of what you do with what you already have. And I am going to show you exactly 10 things you are probably buying right now, today, that are quietly making sure you never get ahead, no matter how hard you work. Number 7 is the one nobody wants to admit, but it might be the most expensive mistake on this entire list. Let's go. Now, before anybody gets defensive, and I know some of you will, let me be very clear about something. This is not about judging anyone. This is not about making people feel bad for how they spend their money. Some of the things on this list I have bought myself. Some of them feel so normal, so reasonable, so completely justified that calling them out is going to feel like an attack. It is not. It is the conversation most people never get to have. The one where someone finally sits down with you and says, "Look, I need you to see what this is actually costing you. Not the price tag, not the monthly payment, the real cost, the lifetime cost, the opportunity cost of every dollar that went here instead of somewhere that could have changed your life." That is what this is. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. Let me introduce you to two people before we get into the list. Same neighborhood, same income, same everything on paper. Let's call them Chris and Alex. Chris and Alex both take home $3,200 a month after tax. Both have the same rent. Both have the same phone bill. Both drive similar cars. From the outside, their financial lives look almost identical. But Chris has $892 in savings after 3 years of working, and Alex has $34,000. Same income, same neighborhood, same 3 years. The difference between Chris and Alex is not a raise, not a side hustle that blew up, not a lucky investment, not a rich relative. It is 10 purchases, 10 specific categories of spending that Chris makes automatically, habitually, without ever questioning, that Alex stopped making the moment Alex understood what they actually cost. Not the sticker price, the real cost. By the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly what those 10 things are, and you are going to have a choice. The same choice Alex made 3 years ago. Keep buying or start building. Let's get into it. Number 1, lottery tickets. I am starting here because this one is going to make some people immediately want to click off. Stay with me, because the math on this one is genuinely devastating. The average person who plays the lottery regularly spends between $50 and $100 a month on tickets. That feels small. It feels like entertainment. It feels like the price of a dream. And dreams are worth something, right? Let me show you what that dream actually costs. $60 a month on lottery tickets. That is $720 a year. Over 20 years, that is $14,400 spent on tickets. Now, here is the part that will stay with you. The odds of winning a major lottery jackpot are approximately 1 in 292 million. You are literally more likely to be struck by lightning twice while being attacked by a shark than you are to win the Powerball. But forget the jackpot. Even the smaller wins, the $10, the $20, the occasional $100, statistically do not come close to covering what you spend over time. The lottery is mathematically designed to return less than it takes. That is how it funds itself. That is the entire business model. Now, take that same $60 a month and put it into an index fund at 7% average annual return for 20 years. $34,000 from $60 a month. The same $60 that bought dreams that never came true. Chris plays the lottery every week, has for years, is still waiting for the big win that is going to change everything. Alex invested that $60 instead. Alex stopped waiting. The lottery does not sell tickets. It sells hope to people who have not yet found a better way to build it. And the day you find a better way, the ticket loses all its power. Number 2, rent-to-own furniture and electronics. This one is one of the most expensive traps on this entire list, and it is marketed almost exclusively to people with lower incomes, which makes it one of the most deliberately predatory. Here is how rent-to-own works. You walk into a store. You need a sofa, maybe a television, maybe a washing machine. You do not have the cash to buy it outright, and your credit is not strong enough for a traditional loan. The rent-to-own store says, no problem. Take it home today. Just pay $29.99 a week. $29.99 a week sounds completely reasonable until you do the math. That $29.99 a week for a television that retails for $400 over the typical rent-to-own contract period will cost you between $900 and $1,400 in total payments. For a $400 television, you are paying up to 3.5 times the actual value of the item, in interest disguised as rental payments, on a product that will be worth a fraction of its original value by the time you finish paying for it. Rent-to-own companies are not in the furniture business. They are in the interest business. The furniture is just the product that gets you through the door. And here is the most painful part. The people using rent-to-own the most are the people who can least afford to pay triple for everything they own. It is a system designed to extract maximum money from people with minimum options. And it works extraordinarily well because it hides the true cost behind a weekly payment that sounds almost nothing. $29.99 a week sounds fine. $1,400 for a $400 television sounds insane. They are the same thing. Always do the total math, never the weekly math. Number 3, brand new cars bought on long finance terms. We talked about this in a previous video, but it belongs on this list because it is one of the single largest wealth destroyers for ordinary people, and it is completely normalized. A brand new car loses between 15% and 20% of its value the moment you drive it off the lot. Within 3 years, it has lost approximately 40% of its purchase price. Within 5 years, 60%. You are financing something that is actively, aggressively, constantly losing value while you pay interest on it. But here is what makes the new car on a long finance term specifically devastating. The average new car payment in 2024 is approximately $735 a month. The average finance term is 72 months, 6 years. $735 a month for 6 years is $52,920 in total payments on a car that will be worth maybe $12,000 at the end of those 6 years, plus insurance that is significantly higher on a new financed vehicle, plus the interest on the loan, which on a 72-month term at average rates adds thousands more to the total. The car that felt like a reward for your hard work ends up costing you more than most people have in their entire savings account. Alex drives a 4-year-old Honda, bought used for $11,000 cash. Insurance is $90 a month. Zero payment gets Alex everywhere the new car gets Chris, to work, to the shops, to dinner, to the airport. The $735 a month difference, invested at 7% over 6 years, is $67,000. Chris is still driving the new car. Alex is building toward financial freedom. Same roads, completely different destinations. Number 4, payday loans. If the rent-to-own trap is expensive, payday loans are catastrophic, and they are built specifically for moments of financial desperation, which makes them extraordinarily difficult to avoid when you are in one. Here is how a payday loan works. You are 3 days from payday. You have an unexpected bill, $300. You do not have it. A payday lender offers you $300 today. You pay them back $345 on payday. That is $45 for a 2-week loan. $45 does not sound devastating, but that $45 on a $300 2-week loan is an annual percentage rate of approximately 391%. Not 39%, not even 139%, 391% annually. And here is where the trap becomes a spiral. Most people who take a payday loan cannot fully repay it on payday because repaying it in full leaves them short for the next 2 weeks. So they roll it over, pay the fee again, borrow again, roll it over again. Studies show that the average payday loan borrower takes out 8 loans per year. Not 1, 8. Paying fees every single time. Borrowing to repay borrowing. Running faster and faster to stay in exactly the same place. The payday loan industry generates billions of dollars annually, not from people who borrow once and pay it back, from the rollover fees of people trapped in a cycle that was designed to be nearly impossible to escape once you are inside it. The only way to win with a payday loan is to never need one, which means the emergency fund we talk about on this channel is not optional. It is not a nice to have. It is the specific thing that makes payday loans permanently irrelevant to your life. Build it, even slowly, even $20 at a time. Because the day you have $500 in a separate account for emergencies is the day payday lenders lose all power over you. Number 5, credit card minimum payments. This one is not a purchase exactly. It is a habit, a financial behavior so common, so normalized, so deeply embedded in how most people manage money that most people do not even recognize it as a trap. Paying the minimum payment on a credit card is one of the most expensive financial decisions a person can make, and it is specifically designed to feel responsible. You got the bill. You paid something. You did not ignore it. That feels like being a responsible adult managing your finances. Here is what is actually happening. The minimum payment is calculated by the credit card company to keep you in debt for as long as mathematically possible while extracting maximum interest from you over that period. On a $5,000 credit card balance at 22% interest, paying only the minimum payment every month will take you approximately 27 years to pay off. And the total amount you will pay over those 27 years is over $11,000. On $5,000 of purchases, you will pay more than double what you originally spent, over 27 years, on things you bought and probably no longer own. The credit card company is not offering you a minimum payment as a convenience. They are offering it as a mechanism for keeping you paying interest to them for as long as possible. The minimum payment is their most profitable product. Chris pays the minimum every month and feels responsible for doing it. The balance barely moves. The interest compounds. The debt stays. Alex paid off the credit card completely, cut the balance to 0, and now pays the full amount every single month. If Alex cannot pay the full balance, Alex does not make the purchase. That one rule, pay in full every month or do not buy, is the difference between a credit card being a tool and a credit card being a trap. Number 6, excessive subscriptions. This one is the sneakiest item on the entire list because of how invisible it becomes. When you sign up for a subscription, you make one decision. After that, the money leaves your account automatically every month without you ever making that decision again. It just happens, quietly, repeatedly, forever until you actively stop it. And most people never actively stop it. The average person has between 12 and 15 active subscriptions at any given time. Streaming services, music, cloud storage, apps, gym memberships, meal kit deliveries, news sites, software, beauty boxes, gaming platforms, meditation apps they open twice. Individually, each one seems small. $9.99 here, $14.99 there, $4.99 for this, $12.99 for that. Together, the average person spends between $200 and $350 a month on subscriptions, a significant portion of which they barely use. But here is what makes subscriptions uniquely dangerous compared to a normal purchase. A normal purchase requires a decision every time. You have to actively choose to buy. The friction of that decision stops a lot of spending. Subscriptions remove the decision entirely. The money leaves whether you thought about it or not, whether you used the service or not, whether you even remembered you had it or not. Do this right now. Go through your bank statement from last month. Find every recurring charge. Write them all down. Add them up. Most people who do this exercise find at least 2 or 3 subscriptions they had completely forgotten about. Money leaving every month for something delivering 0 value. Cancel everything you have not used in the last 30 days. Then consciously decide which ones you genuinely want to keep. Chris has never done this exercise. Has subscriptions going back 3 years he has forgotten about. Alex did this exercise 18 months ago. Canceled $140 worth of unused subscriptions in one afternoon. That $140 a month invested since then? Over $2,500 building quietly. One afternoon. $2,500. Number 7. Fast fashion. Here it is. The one I told you about at the beginning. The one nobody wants to admit. Because fast fashion feels like the opposite of a financial problem. It feels like the solution to a financial problem. Cheap clothes. Affordable style. Looking good without spending a fortune. Except here is what fast fashion actually is. Fast fashion is the business model of selling you the lowest quality version of a trend at the lowest possible price. Designed to fall apart, go out of style, or both within months, so that you have to come back and buy again almost immediately. The average person who shops fast fashion regularly buys approximately 68 items of clothing per year. Most of them worn fewer than 7 times before being discarded. 68 items, worn 7 times each, then gone. The average spend? Between $1,200 and $1,800 a year on clothing for someone shopping primarily fast fashion. Now compare that to someone who buys fewer, better quality pieces that last for years. 10 quality items a year, $600 total, worn hundreds of times each, still looking good 3 years later. The fast fashion shopper spends $1,500 a year and has a wardrobe full of things they do not wear. The quality shopper spends $600 a year and has a wardrobe full of things they love and wear constantly. But the real cost is not just the price difference. It is what that $900 annual difference does over time. $900 a year invested at 7% for 20 years is $43,000 from clothing choices alone. And here is the psychological trap that makes fast fashion so sticky. It is designed to be addictive. New collections every 2 weeks. Constant newness. Constant novelty. Constant low prices that make buying feel almost free. Until you add up what almost free costs over a year. Fast fashion does not sell clothes. It sells the feeling of newness at a price point that makes buying feel harmless. And it has made billions from that feeling while the people buying accumulate debt, clutter, and wardrobes full of things that cost them far more than they realized. Number 8. Convenience store and gas station food. This one is quiet. This one is daily. This one adds up faster than almost anything else on this list because it happens in moments so small and so frequent that it never feels like a financial decision at all. The $3.50 energy drink grabbed on the way to work. The $2.99 bag of chips picked up at the register. The $4.50 hot dog and soda combo because you did not eat before you left. The $6.99 ready meal because you are tired and the gas station is right there. None of these feel like spending. They feel like living. They feel like the small, reasonable things a person buys as they move through their day. But add them up. Someone who makes even 2 or 3 small convenience store purchases a day is spending between $8 and $15 daily on gas station food and drinks. That is between $240 and $450 a month on food that is nutritionally poor, calorically dense, dramatically overpriced compared to grocery store alternatives, and completely unmemorable. You will not remember that energy drink next week. You will not remember that bag of chips next month. But your bank account will remember every single transaction. Chris makes these purchases automatically, every day, without tracking, without thinking, without ever adding up what they cost collectively. Alex meal prepped on Sunday, has snacks packed, has water in the car, passes the same gas station every single day and buys nothing. The difference? About $300 a month. $3,600 a year. Invested over 10 years, $49,000. From gas station chips. Number 9. Buying status symbols on credit. We touched on this in our Fake Rich video. But it belongs here too because the combination of status purchase plus credit is one of the most financially destructive habits that exists. A status symbol purchased with cash you actually have, even if it is not the wisest financial decision, is a finite cost. You paid for it. It is done. The financial damage has a ceiling. A status symbol purchased on credit, a designer bag financed on a credit card, a watch bought on a payment plan, shoes purchased with buy now pay later, has no ceiling. Because interest does not stop accumulating until the balance is zero. And the balance is almost never zero because the next status purchase happens before the last one is paid off. This is how people end up paying $2,400 for a $1,200 bag, $800 for $400 shoes. The item was already overpriced for what it actually is. The credit doubled the cost. And here is what makes status purchases on credit uniquely devastating compared to other debt. The item provides zero financial return. A house at least has potential appreciation. A car at least provides transportation. A status symbol purchase to impress other people provides nothing except a momentary feeling that fades faster than the interest accumulates. You are paying money you do not have, plus interest, for a feeling that lasts approximately 1 week. That is not a purchase. That is the most expensive emotional regulation strategy in existence. Chris has 3 credit cards, partially maxed with designer purchases, pays the minimum every month. The items are barely used. The interest is permanent. Alex saved for 6 months to buy one quality item as a genuine treat. Paid cash. Felt great about it. Moved on. Same desire. Completely different cost. Number 10. Financial ignorance. And here is the one that nobody puts on lists like this, but it might be the single most expensive thing on the entire list. Financial ignorance is not a purchase exactly, but it costs more than everything else combined. Because every item on this list, every trap, every predatory product, every habit that quietly drains wealth, works specifically and exclusively on people who do not understand money. The lottery targets people who do not understand probability. Payday loans target people who do not understand interest. Rent-to-own targets people who do not understand total cost calculations. Fast fashion targets people who do not understand opportunity cost. Financial literacy is the one thing that makes every single trap on this list lose its power. And yet, financial literacy is almost completely absent from formal education. Most people graduate from school having learned algebra they will never use and having never been taught how compound interest works, how credit card debt accumulates, how to read a pay stub, how to open an investment account, or how to build a budget that actually builds wealth. That gap between what school teaches and what money actually requires is not an accident. An economically literate population is a population that is significantly harder to sell lottery tickets to, significantly harder to trap in payday loan cycles, significantly harder to keep making minimum payments forever. Financial ignorance is extraordinarily profitable for the people who sell these products, which is why closing that gap is entirely your own responsibility. Not because the system is fair. It is not. But because waiting for the system to teach you what the system profits from you not knowing is a strategy that will keep you exactly where you are. Every book you read about money is worth thousands. Every video like this one that you watch and apply is worth thousands more. Every conversation you have with someone further along than you, worth thousands. Chris has never read a book about money, never watched a financial education video all the way through, never had a real conversation about investing, compound interest, or wealth building, and genuinely believes that one day a salary raise or a lucky break will fix everything. Alex reads one financial book a month, watches channels like this one, asks questions, applies what lands, and does not wait for permission or a lucky break to start building. The gap between Chris and Alex is not income. It is the decision to know. Now, let me bring all 10 together because I want you to feel the full picture. Lottery tickets drain the hope that should go into investments. Rent to own triples the cost of everything you own. Brand new cars on long finance terms turn transportation into wealth destruction. Payday loans trap people in cycles designed to be nearly impossible to escape. Minimum payments keep debt alive for decades and double what everything costs. Excessive subscriptions silently drain hundreds every month without a single conscious decision. Fast fashion creates the illusion of affordable style while extracting thousands annually. Convenience store food turns daily living into a $300 monthly expense that builds nothing. Status symbols on credit charge interest on feelings that fade in a week. Financial ignorance makes every single one of these traps invisible until it is too late. None of these are accidents. Every single one is a deliberately designed system that extracts money most efficiently from people who understand it least. And now you understand it. Let me show you what understanding it actually means in numbers. Chris and Alex. Same $3,200 monthly take-home pay. Chris spends across these 10 categories approximately $890 extra per month compared to Alex. Not on rent, not on utilities, not on food in any meaningful sense. On these 10 things, $890 a month that Alex invests instead. $890 a month at 7% average annual return over 25 years. Alex, at the end of those 25 years, $728,000. Chris, at the end of those 25 years, still working, still wondering where the money went, still one bad month away from the payday loan counter. Same income, same neighborhood, same 25 years, $728,000 difference. From 10 purchases. Now let me speak directly to you. If you recognized yourself in any of these, and I mean genuinely recognized yourself, not just intellectually acknowledge that someone somewhere does these things, I need you to hear something. You did not end up here because you are bad with money. You ended up here because nobody ever showed you what these things actually cost. Nobody set you down and did the math out loud. Nobody explained that the $29.99 weekly payment was actually $1,400 for a $400 television. Nobody showed you that the minimum payment strategy would keep you in debt for 27 years. You were not taught, and you cannot apply knowledge you were never given. But now you have it, and what you do with it from this exact moment forward is entirely up to you. Pick one thing from this list. Just one. The one that hit closest to home. The one where you thought, okay, that one is me. And make one change this week that moves you away from it and toward something that builds. One change. This week. That is how it starts. Not with a complete financial overhaul. Not with perfection. With one honest decision made with full information. That is the beginning of everything. My name is Cynthia. This is the Wealth Rule. Drop a comment right now and tell me which of these 10 hit closest to home for you. I genuinely want to know, because your answer is the beginning of your next chapter. And if you know someone who needs to see this, someone who works hard and wonders why the money never stays, share this video with them right now. I'll see you in the next one.